What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Understanding the Reason. I'm your host, Jerome Mijette. Man, I'm so pumped and excited for our video today. We're going to get back into day one of creation. We've been talking about, how God created time, how he took a span of eternity and designated it for a specific purpose called time. And so before we get into that, please do me a favor, like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Also, if you guys take me up on my offer to pick up our gear or pick up our book, Understanding the Reason God Made Man, What Made Him Do It? If you take us up on that offer and picking up either one of those or both, send me a selfie over on Facebook Messenger and I'll highlight you at the end of one of our videos like we're going to do today. So if you don't mind, please stick around and help us celebrate those who are supporting what we're doing. We want to just show you guys how much we appreciate you, and that's from our heart. Okay, so let's dive right on in it. All right, so again, we've been talking about how time came into existence, and we were looking at the evidence of that. And the evidence is something that we use every day. We tell time. We've been able to take, and we're going to read our subject scripture. So please make sure you get your notes. Okay. So, but we're going to read our subject scripture for today's content. And we're going to dig a little bit deeper into something that I believe is very, very impactful as it relates to people, us, human beings. Okay. In what we will discover in our subject scripture. But before that, I just want to say this. We use time every day. All of us do, right? We govern our lives based on time. And time is a finite reality, which means that it has a beginning and it has an ending, but eternity is different. Eternity has no beginning and has no ending. That's why it's eternity. Okay. So we're saying that an eternal God, an eternal intelligence, segmented time specifically for a purpose, right? And the word separate, for example, means based on dictionary.com. To separate means to divide, remove, sever, or set apart something for a specific reason or purpose, right? So now let's read our scripture, and that way we can kind of pull this thing in, okay? So we're reading Genesis chapter 1, verse 3. And God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. And God saw that the light was good. He approved it and separated the light from the darkness. That's what we're going to focus on this video. And God called the light day. Okay. And he called the darkness night. And there was evening and there was morning one day. So here's what we've come away with in our previous videos. If you haven't watched them, please go back and check us out over there on our previous videos. But we came away with four things that God did. The first thing that he did was he brought light into the physical temporary structure that he created, time, right? And then he approved it. He called it good, not perfect. He called it good, right? And there's some significance behind that. We'll talk about that as we go along, okay? And then God distinguished day from night, right? Which in turn, he was able to create time. Okay. So time came into existence on day one, right? Now, I want to focus on what does it mean that God separated the light from the darkness, right? He didn't say that that statement for nothing. That wasn't a statement that wasn't a statement that was just made for nothing, because we know just from our own experience, if you walk into a dark room, you turn the light on, boom, that automatically dispels the darkness, right? But what does he mean? He separated it. Like, it's because we talked about the word separation, right? The word separate is to sever. So he severed, or he pulled apart or pulled, and this is really what is speaking to me. You can tell me in the comments what you think, but to me it's saying he reached into the darkness and pulled light out of it. right? I'm convinced, and I'm reading in our book now, and that's what we've been doing. We've been going through the book. So if you don't have your copy, please pick one up. The link is in the description. So let's go. I am convinced our subject scripture is concealing something exceedingly more important than what meets the eye. Why do I believe this? By using the verb separated. The scripture indicates God performed an action of not only dividing, removing, severing, and setting apart something for a specific reason or purpose simply by separating day from night. Knowing the difference between night and day does not serve us in uncovering the statement's underlying meaning. Scripture presents the picture that he separated the light from darkness. What am I saying? Inconceivably, this passage is telling us that he reached into the darkness and pulled the light out of it. What does this mean? If we apply the definition of the word separate, the following three scriptures reveal the intended purpose shrouded in the separation of light from darkness on the very first day of creation. Now listen to this. We're reading, the first scripture we're going to look at is 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 5. Listen to this. Catch this, man. For you are all sons of light and sons of the day. We do not belong either to the night or the darkness. Okay, I hope you guys got that. Okay, now here's our second scripture, Ephesians chapter 1, verse 5. For he foreordained us to be adopted as his own children through Jesus Christ in accordance with the purpose of his will, because it pleased him and was his kind intent. That's the second one. Let's look at the third one. Make sure you take these down. The third one, 1 Peter, 2nd chapter, verse 9. But you are a chosen, separated generation, a royal priesthood, and holy nation, a peculiar, distinguished people, that you should show forth the praises of him who has called you out of darkness into his marvelous light. Wow. So those three scriptures align together to talk about what God was doing when he said, when it says right here, he reached into the darkness and pulled light out of it. So in other words, what he was doing was distinguishing the differences between two classes of people. Whoa, man, that's powerful. Man, that's powerful. So in the beginning, God already knew something. He preordained. Now, this is what the scripture says. He foreordained us to be adopted as his own children through Jesus Christ in accordance with the purpose of his will, because it pleased him and was his kind intent. So he intended to call those from darkness into his marvelous light. Now, here's a big distinction, though. What about those who are still in darkness? Wow. We got to talk about this, man. We got to break this thing all the way down, because listen, we're on a journey to find out, why are we here? What is our purpose? Like, why would God, who is an eternal being, create physical temporary matter? Why would he do it? Why would he do it? What would be his motivation to do that? And I think that we're getting closer and closer to figuring it out, man. I'm telling you, please stick around. Please like, share, and subscribe. Please pick up the book, Understanding the Reason God Made Man, What Made Him Do It. I tell you what, man, we're gonna go through the book, page by page if we have to uncover the reason we're here. Man, I'm so excited that you guys showed up today. Please come back, bring somebody with you, pick up our merch, and, continue to have an awesome day. Get in this journey with us. Put your comments down below. We appreciate you guys very much. We love you sincerely from the heart. Peace.